I was born and bred in Nigeria, and I had my first degree in real estate or estate management from the University of Lagos. And then I moved over to the United Kingdom and started my master's degree at the Henley Business School in 2010. And I came in to do a master's in international management. And I remember very well that, it was such a wonderful experience coming from my background and meeting this diverse group of students, which I believe from over 30 countries of the world, that made up my cohort that year. And it was by far the most international gathering I had ever been a part of for such a long period of time. And I soon discovered that that feature was a permanent feature of being a part of Henley, either as an alumni or as a student, and now as a university staff myself. I went on to do a PhD in Henley Business School as well in the Department for Leadership, Organizations, and Behavior with a focus on business ethics. And now I'm one of the members of staff, and I also now serve as the Deputy Director of Studies in the department. For me, the international, vibe you get from being a part of Henley Business School is just amazing. In addition to the fact that you get to meet people with, diverse range of experiences and very clever and intelligent people who have done really cool stuff in their own rights, and having the opportunity to meet with those people in our students or work with them on a daily basis in my colleagues is a fantastic thing I'll never take for granted. And that's been the defining feature of my experience so far at the Henley Business School. When I moved into my master's at the business school in 2010, I came in with a burden about ethics, but also as it is connected to leadership. And so I did a thesis around business ethics, which I then went on to do some more work on during my PhD, focusing on the central question in simple terms: how do organizations make good people do bad things? Now, if you unpack that question a little bit more, you would realize that at the heart of it is ethics. But on the other hand of it is that the face of ethics in organizations is often leadership. And so it was therefore important for me not just to do ethics research in isolation. I onboarded the leadership component to it as well. But as a purebred entrepreneur, as someone who has been in the social innovation space for quite a long time as well, I began to see the intersection between ethics, leadership, and entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is pretty much one of those important elements we carry out on a daily basis that could also expose us to ethical issues and ethical dilemmas on our day to day journeys. So, leadership within a business or entrepreneurship space, as it relates to ethics, becomes like the holy triangle, as I'll put it, of my research focus and research agenda. So, those three concepts form a boundary within which I've been doing my research over the past, 5 to 6 years. More specifically, I've been able to do some research and publish them in highly reputable journals like the Journal of Business Ethics, looking at virtuous leadership in Africa. I've also gone ahead to look at the issues around the intersection between the role of religion and ethics in informal markets in Uganda. And more recently, I've been doing a lot of work in the education space, trying to break down the walls that kind of silos what we are able to study or teach our students in a classroom, with a view to preparing them to be better and more robust ethical leaders for such a changing and dynamic world in which we found ourselves. So for me, it's just an amazing feeling to be able to engage in those three pockets of research that have huge relevance to the world we live in and the world as we'll have it in a few years' time. For us at Henley, entrepreneurship is first about practice and mindset. And I believe that holding entrepreneurship through the lens of that particular philosophy kind of helps us engage with entrepreneurship very practically, and puts us in a place where we teach it and also live it, with a view to being able to share our lived experiences in the classroom and also research it and share deep insights and build models and constructs and theories around our lived experiences. And that's on one hand. On another hand, of course, is that we have a panel of colleagues within the Henley Business School who are very good at what they do, who consult to large global organizations, who are part of major organizations in their capacities as advisors or members of the board of these large organizations, and the insights they gain from being a part of such a living body of organizations who are engaged in the daily practice of entrepreneurship tells of in how they teach and approach entrepreneurship even in the classroom. And I think another critical thing to note here is that Henley Business School, through the Henley Center for Entrepreneurship, has an amazing relationship with the ecosystem that is the Thames Valley ecosystem where Reading is currently situated. And I believe that that relationship with the ecosystem, with the wider ecosystem, provides this cross fertilization of insights, of knowledge, of ideas that puts us in a better position to teach entrepreneurship even more practically through programs like Idea Fest, where we get our students to pitch their best ideas for which they get funding and subsequent support. To the Henley Business Angels, where we are able to provide angel investment support to really clever ideas, either from our students or members of staff or within the wider community, to entrepreneurship vibes, where we kind of induct our students into the world of entrepreneurship from a very practical and mindset perspective. All these different fusions enable us to really teach entrepreneurship in a living way, in a way that entrepreneurship jumps out of the pages, literally leaps out of the blackboard into a real life lived experience that people can then take those principles and apply them to their daily lives or to their ventures. And so for us, it's about creating a safe environment, a beautiful space where students can see entrepreneurship as exciting, as fun, as innovative, as a practice, and as a mindset related adventure, which they should engage in practically and enjoy as they get going with it.